What's up guys, it's Joey, Center's Only Garage. Today we are going to be installing some TC Bro mid controls. They work on 1991 and up Harley Davidson Dynas. So we're gonna get going and pull these stock ones off and get these new ones on. All right, TC Bro's mid control kit, tools needed for installation. We are going to start with a socket set, mid strength thread locker, a soft face mallet. You're gonna need some Allen keys, and then as well as a 3/4, a 9/16, a 1/2 inch, and a 7/16. And then the directions are also calling to have a 1-inch crescent wrench ready. So we got everything unpackaged. We're gonna look at the directions and start with their recommended first step. The first thing that it calls for is to get this shifter thrown on. You're going to use the TC Bro supplied bolt with their supplied lock washer, medium strength thread locker, and then you are going to need a 3/16 Allen wrench. I would personally use all handheld Allen wrench tools for this job. You do not want to stress or even chance breaking off some hardware in your brand new parts. Okay, now that we have the shifter put on, let's go ahead and move to the next step. All right, next step is the left side actual mid control peg mount. Supplied is a bolt. We are going to put it from the inside to out. And it is important that you do that now before we put it on the bike. Because if you put it on the bike without putting this bolt through, you will run into clearance issues. So again, mid control mount, bolt in, and now we can mount it to the frame. Super important, medium strength Loctite on both your mid control mount bolts. All right, so now that we got thread locker on, the bolt is through the mid right there loosely. We're going to throw lock washers on these mid control mount bolts. Can't forget those, they are very important and they ensure them staying on, which is obviously an important task. We're just test fitting right now, so we're gonna just go nice and snug to keep everything in place. And now that it's mounted, you'll see why this bolt needs to be on first for clearance issues. Next step is going to be mounting the foot peg clevis to that bolt that we slid through the mid control in step 4. So we're gonna apply some mid-strength thread locker to the bolt already through there, and we're gonna get this tightened down. We're going to use a 9/16 wrench on the back, crescent wrench on the front. We're going to tighten these until it's about at the right angle for the peg to be free if it ever were to, be drug on the ground. And by the way our customers ride, it will be. Now that the left side foot control is mounted, the peg clevis is on, we are going to actually mount the peg now. It's important that the smooth rounded side is facing up, so as it scrapes the ground, the peg can maneuver up and down. So with the supplied bolt, very important that you use the locking nut. It has a little white inside. It will ensure that your foot pegs are not going to fly off. I'm not sure if this is on the next step, but since I'm already here and I already have the thread locker handy, I'm going to go ahead and install the shifter peg. I'm just gonna run that hand tight and see how it goes. I may need to tighten it down the road, but I don't really want to put a tool on this and maul up the brand new freshies. So we did the other side on the bike. Personal preference, I'm going to mount this clevis off of the bike. So we are going to put a supplied bolt through the back side of the actual mid control. So when you use thread locker, very important, it should be going on every bolt as part of this project. And then we are going to mount the clevis, but we are not going to tighten it yet because it needs to be at the right angle on the bike. we're going to use the supplied brake rod on the kit. There's going to be 2 small lock nuts. We are going to thread those down over halfway on each side. Those are important. That's what's going to hold it into place. Now we're going to apply medium strength thread locker like we have on all the other bolts. And we are going to screw this high mark, also supplied with the kit. And you are going to screw this directly into your master. Now that we have the foot peg clevis mounted, we have the right foot peg on. I skipped that step, went a little early. We are gonna go ahead and put on our rear brake pedal assembly. So we are gonna need this inlaid bolt. To lay this inlaid bolt through the mid control. We're going to stick it through the brake pedal. We are then going to apply the supplied brake washer. We're going to apply some medium thread locker. And then we're going to put the collared nut on the back side of this. I am going to tighten it once it's on the bike, but this will ensure that this piece is not coming apart on me right now. Another personal preference, you can do it on or off the bike. I am going to mount the rear brake linkage now. And then I will, go ahead and mount the mount to the frame. So I'm going to put it through there, kind of hold the back side of it. Put some more thread locker on. That was way too much, but again, you don't want this stuff coming off. I'm going to give myself some room to get to it. Again, I'm going to tighten these once it's on the bike, but it's just easier to get it right here for me right now. And then thread locker these up. And let's get them mounted to the frame. All right, we're gonna throw on their rear brake pedal. I do really like that it matches the pegs, really sets off the bike and gives it a cool look. Thread locker, like we've put on everything else in this kit. You need thread locker, please, I'm asking you nicely. Through the back. And we're just gonna leave that hand tight. And now we're gonna go back through and tighten everything up. All right, we're gonna tighten the mid control bolts. The directions called for 30 foot-pounds, so that's what we're gonna do. All right, that was the TC Bro Dyna Mid Control install. Took you guys through the steps and the tools you're gonna need to get it done. Relatively easy job, maybe not for myself, I'm not as qualified as some, but we did get it done and it's definitely doable in your own garage.